Hey guys, welcome back to A Song or Story a Day. It's me, A Song or Story a Day. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, I don't actually know what you're thinking, but I'm sure some of you, if people ever watch this video, are thinking, what is that thing in the back? You see, I've added some birthday candles so that it looks more like a cake, because that's what it's supposed to be today, cake. And I've been extra efficient with how I've done it. Just added some birthday candles and then put HBD, happy birthday, on top. And so now you know it's a birthday cake as opposed to what it was yesterday, which was a dark, swirling void of misery. So I'm still a little bit sick, so I'm probably not going to be doing any singing right now. But what I am going to do is just tell a very short story about something that doesn't actually involve a birthday cake. It involves a cake, but not a birthday cake. But I couldn't think of any good way of making that look like a cake other than turning it into a birthday cake, which is why it looks like that. But look, that's completely besides the point, alright? I'm just explaining to you why that thing is now a cake, and also what connection it has to the story, which is very minor. But it's there, alright? And so this is a story about when I was out on a trip to China. This was in my 12th year. I was in grade 12, so this was in my final year of high school. There was a school trip, and it was mostly people in their junior year. I was actually one of the few seniors on the trip. I think there was a few others, but I was probably the most, I don't know what to call myself, the most well-known, the most popular senior that went on the trip. Most people were either juniors or perhaps even less than that. And the reason I'm bringing this story up is because I I honestly very much enjoyed that trip for a couple of different reasons. One is because it was just a nice experience, but two, it just gave me an opportunity to really show off and make people like me, which is something I always enjoy. And I remember on that trip, I did all sorts of things to make people like me. Like, I was as outgoing and charismatic and made as many jokes as I usually did. But I remember doing things on top of that. I'd lead people around. I remember bargaining on people's behalf. When you go to China, when you go to shop at a store, usually you can do some haggling. And I remember telling everyone that I was the best haggler ever, even though I had never haggled with people in China before. I had done some haggling in other regards, done negotiations and all that, but I've never haggled for anyone whatsoever. But I told everyone, I'm the best haggler. And I remember a lot of guys were sort of okay with doing it themselves, but all the girls would ask me to haggle for them. Like, all of them, including some of the teachers. And I guess because either they didn't want to haggle with random strangers, or because they were very convinced by how much I was bragging about my ability to haggle. And I mean, it had decent results. I mean, I don't even know what a decent result is, considering I'd never haggled. But I mean, everyone was pretty happy with how I was doing. And there's just one example of one of the many white lies I told about my capabilities. But I mean, there are other things I did. I remember at one point, so this was like a school sanction trip. So we went with chaperones, teachers, that were essentially there to supervise and take care of us and all that. And I remember being a brown noser, all right? And I was like, we should get them a cake, guys. They would love getting a cake. And the only reason I suggested it, and I'm going to be completely frank with you guys, is not because I thought it would be nice to give them a cake, but because I thought people would think that I'm amazing for coming up with this idea. Like, wow, James is so. Oh, I said my name. Well, that's my name. Wow, James is so thoughtful, and look at this guy. He's absolutely incredible, and that was why I got the cake. Now, I put a lot of minor effort into this cake. I went to a store and I literally ordered it. I had it customized to say, like, thank you to our teachers in Chinese, which I can't read or write. And it was like this big thing. We hid it from the teachers. We told them, oh, like, you guys have to be here at this like specific time because we were gonna give them the cake. And it went well. And then I didn't take any credit for it. I was like, oh, this was a group idea, but everyone knows that it was my idea, because I was the one that came up with it, and I was the one who was leading and taking the charge. So I'm sure everyone knew. What is my point with this story? Um, I found that whole experience absolutely exhilarating. You know, from being like the center of attention for a lot of these things to even putting an effort to do things just so that I'd get more attention, even like haggling on people's behalf when I had absolutely no idea, just to make people feel like I could. It was it was genuinely a very nice experience. I don't know what the point of the story really is. I guess the point of the story is if you ever need to get something haggled for at any sort of bazaar, I am now more experienced than I once was when I did it, and I'm pretty sure I could get it for you at just slightly above market price. Maybe even less. But, anyways, that's the story. I don't know if it's a good story or a bad story, but it's a story nonetheless, and that's what you're getting. I'm still sick, so I can't get to any serious singing, unfortunately. But I do really want to. And I'm going to get a singing teacher. That's the other thing. Because I really like singing. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that story. Hope you enjoyed the cake. And, you know, if you ever need someone to go on a trip to China with, I'm probably a okay choice. Alright, see you for now.